And in international news, Japanese stocks dropped 10.5% to a two-year low today. The Nikkei 225 index suffered its third worst daily decline in history. The country's Prime Minister Naoto Kan said that radiation levels at the Fukushima nuclear plant had become higher, and yet another reactor exploded this morning. After the Prime Minister's comments, the Nikkei dropped so sharply that a circuit breaker halted trade. After trading resumed, Japan's benchmark fell as much as 14%, and that is the biggest intraday slide since the stock market crash in October 1987. The Prime Minister also said that the possibility of leakage had increased. Japanese government bond prices rose sharply in the wake of panic selling of equities. Meanwhile, analysts say that the yen is poised to see a new record high as Japanese investors are repatriating funds. In an interview with Reuters, the head of forex trading house IFR, John Noonan, said there will be inevitable repatriation flows as companies rebuild their plans and as insurance companies hoard yens. He added that Japanese investors will also probably sell foreign currencies and buy the yen. He said that there is a fair chance the Japanese currency could break through its all-time high against the dollar in the short term. Eurogroup leaders say a decision on an expansion of the European bailout fund will come in the next week. The measures that Eurozone leaders agreed on, however, still need formal approval at the next EU summit on March 24th and 25th. Eurogroup Chairman Jean-Claude Juncker said ministers would meet again next week to try and thrash out further details.
We are discussing the ways and means how to return to the initial level of 140. This, of course, is referring to two questions. Will this be done by guarantees or could there be other means? My personal feeling is that this will be done by guarantees.
India's inflation surprisingly accelerated in February, which has put pressure on the country's central bank to raise interest rates this week for the 8th time in a year. Wholesale prices last month rose 8.3% from a year earlier, compared with 8.2% in January. Economists expected the rate to dip in February as food prices were beginning to moderate. According to a Bloomberg News survey, the Reserve Bank of India may increase its repurchase rate by a quarter point on Thursday to 6.75%. And on a lighter note, a teenage girl has become the world's youngest CEO. She heads a 160-staffed animation company based in India's southern Chennai city. 14-year-old Sindhuja Rajarahman became the head of the Sepan company in October 2010, set up by her father. Her company was adjudged the fastest 2D and 3D animator by software lobby NASCOM at last year's Gaming and Animation Conclave.
I'm just proud to be animator. How CEO is just a post given by in this company. Actually, I do animation every day. I'm learning animation and as well as the CEO post. I'm just working, make myself worth for CEO post. That's how I'm doing everything, and there's no age bar or anything age limits for animation.
What a girl. Before we head back to news, let's take a quick look at the Asian equity, commodity and currency markets, and after that break, Laura Buckwell is back with the news.